President Biden, former President Trump debated over why you should vote for them in the coming presidential election in November. We've got political reporter Jack Fink. To say the least, there's a lot to wade through here tonight.
Well, Doug and Nicole, this was a historic debate on so many levels, the earliest date in history. No studio audience and no interruptions because the mics were muted for the candidate who was not asked a question. At a couple of points, the president lost his train of thought and his voice was hoarse because he has a cold. It was a substantive debate with President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump squaring off over the top issues, including abortion rights, border security, and inflation.
The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. With the combination, what I was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now.
He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing.
I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons. He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
You're lying. That is simply not true. That Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
To be sure, President Biden and former President Trump exchanged insults and threw some verbal punches. President Biden attacked Mr. Trump's character and his various legal troubles, both civil and criminal cases.
The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. The public knows it's a scam.
There's certainly no love lost between the two of them. They didn't shake hands at the beginning or the end of the debate. It comes as Trump leads Biden in 5 of the 7 battleground states, and it's about even in Wisconsin and Michigan, according to the Real Clear Politics average of polls. The next debate is set for September 10th.